Hello, and welcome to the Soul Elevation Podcast, guiding your ascension to new heights. I'm your host, Kara Goodwin, and I'm so excited to be with you today. I have a very interesting story to share with you. I'm still kind of digesting this experience that happened yesterday, and it's very multifaceted. So, if you have heard me, if you've engaged with my work before, you will have often heard me say that nothing is ever just one thing. We live in a multi-dimensional reality. We have so many things going on, and there are a lot of levels and layers to our experience. I know that when I was earlier in my spiritual journey, I was very black and white. It was kind of things were either this or they were this. And part of my evolution has been understanding that things are happening at a lot of different layers. There can be a lot happening at once. So, this is an example of that. This is an example of something where there were very physical things happening and there were very energetic things happening, and they were coming together to create one experience. But I want you to expand your consciousness to be able to hold the different levels and layers of this. Because again, you might find your human brain trying to decide, was it this or was it this? And from my perspective, things are orchestrated well beyond us, our higher selves, our divine team on the other side. God is orchestrating our lives in a very beautiful symphony of experience so that we are able to have a lot of layers and depth to what we're experiencing as we go through our lives at any given time. So before I begin this story, I just need to check. Okay, sorry, there's always some technological things going on in the background that I want to sort out to make sure we're actually streaming. I'm trying to stream this on YouTube. Um, so yesterday I met with a beautiful friend of mine. Let's call this friend Chris. Okay, so my friend Chris, we meet up regularly and we were chatting. And I started telling her about this. It was relevant to the story that I was telling, and I can't even now remember the story that I was telling. Oh, I was talking about this multidimensional experience that I'd had that was relevant to something, to a bigger story. But in this multidimensional experience that I had, which is like a quantum journey, it's kind of a psychic experience. I have these usually when I have them, it is when I'm drifting to sleep, but I'm not asleep yet. But my awareness is just open to a lot of different activity psychically. And the way that that shows up for me, a lot of times it's that I'm seeing energy patterns. I'm seeing, like, a lot of times they're moving, but I'm seeing these patterns, these like geometries, but they have a lot of they're complicated geometries, and a lot of times they're kind of stacked. And so, but they also kind of look like one thing, but I understand that they are stacked. And I'm explaining this to her, and I say to her, so I understand also that when we interact, we are exchanging energy codes. So, like, I have an energy signature, and that signature is changing as I evolve, as I develop, and also because we're also amalgamations of our experience and our connections. So we're affecting each other as I move through, and I don't really, honestly, I don't know if this is 100% true for everybody, but I know that this is how it works for me. And I don't know if it's mission based. Like, I don't know if everybody works like this, because we all kind of we're equipped with what we need to be able to serve in the way that we're here to serve. And so it could be that this is how it works for me, and that's not really relevant to everybody. Um, but I think it's relevant to everybody. Anyway, what I was sharing with her is that, in these multidimensional states, part of it, a lot of times, is that I'm receiving new geometries, new codes, and it's getting added into my stack, into the bigger signature of what I am, who I am. And then when we interact, and I used her as an example. So I was like, so when we interact, like you have access to the energies that I bring and whatever is relevant to you. And I also have access to your energy, like through like your energy signature. And I can take and kind of add that to mine, and you're receiving what I have too. And the same goes for you, especially if you're viewing this, you are receiving the energy that I carry that's relevant to you. Um, and as we're talking about this, I mean, I was literally explaining this, and I could feel this ramp up of energy as I was explaining it. Like on my side, I could feel it was like the gates opened, and it was like she was like subconsciously just sending me all of these energy codes that she carries, and likewise I was sending to her the codes that she was ready to receive. Again, totally subconsciously, but I could feel this, like it's almost like I felt this gate open, and she suddenly got all this color in her face. She had this noticeable shift, and I could see it physically, I could sense it energetically, but she was just sitting there. But I noticed a big change in her as I was talking about this. And then she said, okay, I'm feeling like my heart doing this thing that it does. And she has actually had her heart checked because a few times she's had this, I don't know if you would call them like palpitations, but she's had this increasing heart energy. And she has read my book, Your Authentic Awakening, where I share that I have had situations where I've had heart palpitations. It has felt like all of a sudden, I'm just sitting there and then my heart starts racing. And but a lot of times it's not that happens, just it's not like I'm just watching TV and that happens. It happens in very energetic situations where I have felt very activated energetically. So the one of the times that I do share in my book was when my mentor, my spiritual mentor, and I, Michael, went to a place where we were going to host a retreat, and we were both like, it was so high vibe. It was like as soon as we crossed the threshold into the property, we both were like buzzing. And and we were both just really excited, and we felt really good about everything, but we also felt like we were just kind of receiving energetically what we needed, again, on a very subconscious level, but feeling these shifts, preparing us for the retreat we were about to hold. And then as I drove away, when we were finished, I felt that in my heart. And it was actually, it wasn't a racing heart. I felt pain in my heart, and I felt it like something was going to burst open, and I had to pull over. And so it was in conjunction with this very energetic metaphysical activation that I had felt through the being on that site and being prepared for facilitating that upcoming retreat. So she had read my book, and we had even talked previously about how the experiences, because she'd had a physical exam to make sure that everything was okay, and nothing came up. The doctor was like, yeah, there's nothing here, you don't need to worry. And so I was just kind of offering, like, I've had something similar, and I think that it was really more energetic. And this is also a known phenomenon. Other people talk about this, other spiritual teachers. I didn't come across those things until I'd already been through it. And then it was like, oh my gosh, other people know about this. Um, but so that was fascinating in and of itself. I got her some water. We just kind of, let the energy settle. Um, and then her phone rang about 10 minutes later, and it was her mom. And her mom said, "My blood pressure is through the roof. I need to go to the emergency room." And so we did some quick math when she got off the phone, and we were like, okay, for the time that it would have taken her to take her blood pressure, to have the experience, take her blood pressure, and then call Chris, that's there was a simultaneous, that was her mom was experiencing this spike in blood pressure and this change in the way that she felt physically simultaneously to when Chris was feeling it. So that was also very, very powerful in terms of there was not just, again, not just one thing happening. So there was for Chris, there was the physical sensation that was happening at the same time that she was feeling that, or that we were having that energetic exchange that I was very much, I mean, I can vouch for that. I felt that very much in terms of like this exchange of codes just through the conversation. It was like I was explaining it to her, but then it kind of started happening energetically in a faster way. And then she experienced that physical since that physical discomfort. I saw it physically, I saw it energetically. And then then her mom was also simultaneously having very similar symptoms. And so, of course, we are all connected. And then when you think about people that you're very connected with in your immediate, kind of more immediate circle, um, that's the quantum. That's quantum connection. That's quantum entanglement, where you experience these same phenomenon um, simultaneously. Like that is such a strong indicator of our connection through consciousness. And when we talk about conscious connection, of course, like that doesn't just have to be psychically, that doesn't have to just be energetically. Like that's very strong to have those mirrored physical sensations shared at the same time, two different people expressing it at the same time. So we are all connected. And this also goes to one of the big learnings that I've had through my multidimensional experiences, that the work that we do on ourselves to elevate our frequency, to clear things out, to lift ourselves up, it impacts everybody that we're connected with. And one of the ways that I have seen this energetically is like my energetic field, almost like mosaic tiles. And when I'm in this heightened high vibrational state, they become this like shimmering gold. And it's like my tiles are connected to everybody that I'm connected with, the ones that are closer to me, like the people that I interact with, daily, my people I'm biologically related to, spiritually related to. I share more tiles with them, if you want to think about it that way. So it's kind of like I'm on one side of these tiles, and then like imagine that I've got this cylinder, this tile cylinder all around me, and portions of that cylinder, there are beings that I'm connected with that are on the other side of it. And depending on how close I am with them, they share more tiles with me. So let's say my daughter, who I see all the time, we're biologically connected, we're emotionally connected, we're spiritually connected. So she has a lot of we share a lot of energetic tiles. So when I elevate, when my tiles go gold, those tiles that are connected, that we share, go gold for her, or they light up more for her. And then that affects her whole field. And so everybody that I am connected with, that's happening. And the people that I'm not as connected with, but I still have contact points with, they're still getting that gold lift, just in a lesser degree. So these kinds of insights that I have received just through these types of experiences are things that I really want to share because I've gotten so much out of them. I've had some really powerful ones even in the last few weeks that I've felt at times that I've gotten like PhDs in a few hours' time because I've learned so much about different aspects of reality, like such as distortion, from so many different angles. And so I'm actually working to create a workshop for like just 2 or 3 hours where, because I'm trying to find the right way to deliver some of these insights in the best way that can help people the most. And these little short like bursts that I have on YouTube are beautiful, but it's hard to go deep with them. So so just be on the lookout for that. I'm hoping to get something out and find the right date and everything. But of course, that'll be recorded as well. So anyway, just know you are so connected. And there are these physical expressions that happen when your energetic body changes. Sometimes they happen very, very quickly. And that was the case yesterday with my friend Chris. And it's exciting, even though, and I also share this because it can be scary. It can be scary to have these physical sensations, and we can immediately feel like something's wrong. And it might be, it definitely have things checked out if you are feeling these energetic activations, but you're having physical symptoms, particularly around your heart. Don't take my word for it that it's only energetic. Of course, you want to get that checked out and just like have it verified. But with my friend, she had this symptom before and had it checked. She's had the all clear. And so it's like, well, this is a known thing within spiritual evolution. So um, I hope that that can be comforting as well if you have experienced something similar. And if you haven't experienced something like that yet, you very well might. So it's good to have the info. So I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day. And thank you so much for tuning in. And I can't wait to see you next time. Many blessings.